Hello, wonderful English learners, and a warm welcome back to English in Advance. I'm your host, Jennifer, and today we're going on a very important journey together. We're going to dive deep into something that's absolutely crucial for speaking English well: pronunciation. If you've ever felt a bit shy or unsure when you talk, or if you've ever worried that people might not quite catch what you're saying, then please know this episode is just for you. It's been made with you in mind to help you feel more confident and understood. Do you wish your English sounded more natural, more like a native speaker? Well, this video is here to help. We won't just talk about the problems. We'll look at the most common pronunciation mistakes that even really good English learners make. And more importantly, I'll give you simple, clear tips and tricks to fix them. My big goal: to help you speak English with true confidence so your message always comes across loud and clear. By the time we finish our chat today, I promise you'll have a clear plan, a real roadmap to speak English better, more naturally, and with a captivating flow that makes people want to listen. We all spend a lot of time learning grammar rules, and it's exciting to learn new words, right? Those parts are super important for building your English skills. But let's think about this for a moment. Imagine you're building a truly beautiful house. You've got all the best bricks, a fantastic design, and every room is perfectly planned. It's an amazing house. But what if the path leading up to this wonderful home is rough, uneven, and hard to walk on? People might struggle to even get to your front door, let alone step inside and appreciate all your hard work. Pronunciation is just like that smooth, inviting path. It's not just an extra detail, it's the easy way your words travel straight to your listener. When you say words clearly, your thoughts and ideas glide effortlessly without any bumps or detours. But if your pronunciation isn't clear, people might find it tough to understand you. Or even worse, they might accidentally get the wrong idea. Now, let me be super clear here. We're not trying to make you lose your natural accent. Your accent is a part of who you are. It's unique and special, and it adds richness to your English. Instead, our main focus is to help you be understood easily and to say exactly what you mean without any confusion. When you consciously work on your pronunciation, you don't just speak better. You unlock completely new levels of confidence and make deeper, more real connections in every conversation you have. Today, we're going way beyond just pointing out mistakes. We're going to dive deep and explore a few key areas. We'll look at the small differences in vowel sounds. These tiny differences might seem unimportant, but when you master them, they can totally change how clear you are and stop those annoying misunderstandings. We'll tackle some tricky consonant sounds which are often mixed up, left out, or swapped by mistake. And finally, we'll uncover the secrets of the music of English, how we stress words and sentences. This is how English truly comes alive. We'll see how putting a bit more power on the right parts of words and sentences doesn't just make your English sound natural, but really helps your message flow beautifully and powerfully. To set the stage for our exploration, let's begin with a story. It's a story that I think many of you, perhaps without even realizing it, might connect with. I vividly remember a really bright and hardworking student I once taught named Anya. She was from Ukraine and had an amazing grasp of English grammar and a huge list of English words in her vocabulary. She was doing incredibly well in her studies, working hard on a big group project at her university in Canada. One afternoon, as they were getting ready for an important presentation, they suddenly realized they desperately needed to print out some important charts and handouts. Anya, always proactive and eager to help, quickly offered to go get the necessary paper from the university's main office. With a polite smile, she walked up to the receptionist's desk. The office area was a busy place, filled with the quiet hum of student life, but Anya was focused. She spoke as clearly as she knew how. "Excuse me," she began politely, her voice perhaps a little softer than she meant it to be over the general chatter. "Could I please have a dash of paper?" The receptionist, a kind-faced lady with glasses resting on her nose, looked up from her computer. Her first expression was a slight puzzle, a tiny wrinkle appearing between her eyebrows. Then, as Anya's words fully sank in, that confusion slowly turned into something like mild shock, maybe even a hint of surprise that made her eyes widen just a bit. Anya, feeling that something was wrong but not knowing what, simply repeated her request, perhaps a little louder this time, thinking maybe the receptionist hadn't heard her clearly over the noise. She said the word again, unknowingly making the exact same sound mistake. Finally, after a moment of awkward silence that stretched on a little too long, the receptionist, managing a slightly uncomfortable but very understanding smile, gently and carefully clarified, her voice soft but very distinct. "Do you mean a sheet of paper?" Anya's face instantly turned bright red. She suddenly understood what had happened. It hit her like a splash of cold water. She had, completely by accident, used the short I sound, the same quick vowel sound you hear in words like sit or hit. By doing this, she had changed sheet, which just means a flat piece of paper, into a very rude and inappropriate word. The receptionist's first look of confusion, then that uncomfortable smile, and finally her careful correction, all made it perfectly clear to Anya that something had gone terribly wrong with her pronunciation. The memory of that exact moment, the sudden shift in the receptionist's face, really stuck with Anya and showed her just how important it is to master these small sound differences. This story, even though it might seem a bit funny when we look back at it, shows a very important point. The tiny, almost silent difference between the long E sound, like in sheet or reach, and the short I sound, like in the word Anya said by mistake, or like sit or ship, can have a huge impact, even an embarrassing one, on what you mean and how people see you. It's not just about following rules from a book. It's about navigating real conversations and smoothly avoiding those unexpected, sometimes cringy mix-ups. Now that we know how important this is, let's carefully break down some of the most common vowel mistakes. We'll learn how to master them, including the very one that caused trouble for Anya. First, let's tackle a classic pair, the long E sound versus the short I sound. This is a perfect example of how changing just one little sound creates totally different words and meanings. The long E sound, as you hear in words like sheep, beach, leave, sheet, or feel, is what we call a long sound made with the front of your mouth. To make it correctly, imagine your lips gently stretching back, almost like you're holding a soft, natural smile. At the same time, your tongue should be high and forward in your mouth. This is a sustained sound. Let it last just a little bit. In contrast, the short I sound, as you hear in words like ship, live, sit, hit, or fill, is a short, relaxed sound made with the front of your mouth but a bit lower. For this sound, your lips should stay much more relaxed, almost neutral, with no tightness. The sound itself is quick, sharp, and comes from the middle of your mouth. There's hardly any tension needed. Let's really focus on feeling and hearing this difference. Listen closely as I say these words and then actively try to make your mouth the same way and copy the sound. Don't be shy about making bigger movements with your mouth at first. It really helps build the muscle memory you need. Try saying leave versus live. Imagine saying, I must leave for work now, compared to, do you live in the city? Feel how the sound is longer in leave and quick, almost cut short in live. Or try feel versus fill. Think, I feel really happy today, versus please fill this glass with water. Notice the slight tension for feel and relaxation for fill. Practice green versus grin by thinking, the grass is such a vibrant green, versus he gave a wide, mischievous grin. What about heat versus hit? Imagine saying, it's freezing. We need more heat, versus be careful not to hit your head. And of course, the key pair from Anya's story, sheet versus sit. Imagine saying, I need a clean sheet for the bed, versus please sit down, you must be tired. Here's a really good tip to help remember these sounds. For the long E sound, truly imagine you're saying cheese. For a photograph, that natural smile helps put your mouth in the perfect spot. For the short I sound, think of a very quick, almost surprised sound you might make, like I. It's short, relaxed, and happens quickly. Next, let's learn about the three A sounds. The open A sound versus the neutral sound versus the broad ash sound. These three vowel sounds are often a source of confusion, especially because different English accents might say them slightly differently. But learning to tell them apart is super important for clear speaking everywhere. The open A sound, as in words like cat, apple, man, bad, or hat, is an open sound made with the front of your mouth. To make this sound, your mouth needs to open quite wide, and the corners of your lips should pull back just a tiny bit. Your tongue stays relatively flat and low, forward in your mouth. Many people describe this as a flat A, or like the sound you make when a doctor tells you to say, ah, but with your tongue flatter and more forward. In contrast, the neutral sound, as in words like cut, sun, love, butter, or hut, is a central, very relaxed sound. Your mouth should be quite relaxed, almost neutral, without much tightness. The sound itself is short, quick, and sounds like a short It comes from the very center of your mouth. Finally, the broad sound, as in words like car, father, arm, start, or heart, is a long, truly open sound, made with the back of your mouth. For this sound, your mouth is wide open, and your tongue is low and pulled well back in your mouth. It's a deep, long sound. Let's carefully say these different sounds. Pay incredibly close attention to how much your jaw drops and exactly where your tongue is positioned for each one. Try the group. Cat versus cut versus cart. Imagine a funny scene. The cat quickly cut across the yard heading for the cart. Feel your mouth open wide for cat, relaxed for cut, and deep for cart. Or practice ran versus run versus R. Imagine saying, he ran to run where you are. Notice the different vowel sounds even though the spelling might be similar. Try hat versus hut versus heart. Picture this. He found his favorite hat in the dusty old hut near his deeply beating heart. And how about bad versus bud versus bard? Think, a truly bad little bud once tried to outsmart a traveling bard. The absolute key to telling these three apart is to consistently be aware of your jaw drop and where your tongue is. For the open A sound, consciously drop your jaw a lot and push your tongue forward. For the neutral sound, keep your mouth and tongue feeling much more relaxed and centered. And for the broad sound, drop your jaw wide open while pulling your tongue clearly back in your mouth. Practicing these in front of a mirror will give you incredibly helpful visual feedback. Beyond vowels, some consonants can also cause problems, especially if your first language doesn't have these exact sounds. Let's shine a light on them. Let's talk about the mysterious th sounds, the voiced th versus the voiceless th. These sounds are often missing in many languages around the world, which makes them quite tricky for many learners. For the voiced eth sound, as in words like this that, though mother or breathing, your tongue should gently touch or be just behind your top front teeth. As you breathe out, the crucial part is that you must also make your throat vibrate. A great way to check this: put your hand firmly on your throat as you say the word. You should clearly feel a buzzing. This is the sound you make when you say the or there. In contrast, for the voiceless th sound, as in words like think, thank, three, something, or breath, your tongue goes in the exact same place. However, this time, when you push the air out, your throat stays completely still. It doesn't vibrate at all. It's purely a stream of air flowing over your tongue. No buzzing in your throat. This is the sound in math or truth. Put your hand on your throat for each word. Can you feel the clear vibration for the voiced th and the complete lack of it for the voiceless thi? Try this versus think. Imagine, this is what I think about the situation. Feel your voice vibrating for this and just air for think. Or practice then versus thin. Imagine. Then the book became incredibly thin. And finally, consider breathing versus breath. Imagine. His breathing was heavy and his warm breath made the window cloudy. This pair perfectly shows the difference. The main key here is to always get your tongue in the right place, gently between or just behind your front teeth. Once you have that, it's simply a matter of choosing whether you're going to use your voice for the voiced th or just pure air for the voiceless th. Now let's move to another common pair that gets mixed up: the V sound versus the W sound. Many people mix these up, making wine sound like vine or the other way around. For the V sound, as in words like video, vote, very, or vine, your top teeth should gently touch your bottom lip. As you push air out, your throat must vibrate. It's a continuous, buzzing, friction sound. For the W sound, as in words like water, we, what, or wine, your lips are initially rounded tightly, almost as if you're about to whistle or give a quick kiss. Then your lips quickly open as you make the sound. Importantly, your teeth do not touch your lip. Actively feel how your teeth and lips work for each sound. This physical awareness helps a lot. Try very versus wary. Imagine. She was very wary of the stranger. Feel your top teeth lightly touching your bottom lip for a very, and your lips just rounded for wary. Or practice vine versus wine. Imagine. Is that a grapevine or a glass of wine? Try vest versus west. Imagine. He wore his best vest and headed west. And what about while versus vile? Imagine. While the task was certainly vile, he completed it. A helpful tip to remember: for the V sound, imagine a gentle biting motion of your top teeth on your bottom lip. For the W sound, think of it as a quick kissing motion, where your lips round and then release. It's all about how you shape your mouth. My friends, this is where spoken English truly comes alive and starts to sound beautiful, like music. Word stress and sentence stress aren't just small technical details. They are the true rhythm, the lovely tune, and the very heart of the English language. If you get them wrong, your individual words might be understood, but your full message what you really want to emphasize, or your feelings might get lost, or your speech might just sound a little flat, a little unnatural. Word stress means saying one part of a word, one syllable, with more power. This stressed part is usually louder, held for a little longer, and often has a slightly higher sound. Let's look at a really clear example. Think about the word present. When we say present with strong stress on the first part, it's a noun. It means a gift or the current time. For example, she received a lovely present for her birthday, or focus on the present moment. But now, listen closely as I change the stress. Present. With the stress clearly on the second part, it becomes a verb, meaning to give or to show. For example, I need to present my detailed findings to the team tomorrow. Can you hear that big difference? Just by moving the stress from one part to another, we completely change what the word means and even how it's used in grammar. This small but powerful part of English is super important for clear conversations. Let's try more examples. As you listen and repeat, let your voice go up and down naturally with the stressed parts. Think about PHO2 versus photographer versus photograph Ike. See how the stress moves in words that come from the same root. This shows how flexible English stress is. Another great pair is record versus record. Think, this old vinyl RE chord is a classic versus please record our conversation for later. And then there's the pair that can lead to some truly funny mix-ups. Desert versus desert. This one is a classic, just like our sheet of paper story. Imagine the strange look you might get from a waiter if you said, I'd love some chocolate dessert for dinner. You'd probably get a bowl of sand, not ice cream. The stress here makes all the difference. While English word stress can sometimes seem hard to guess, there are some very helpful patterns. For most two-part nouns and adjectives, the stress is usually on the first part. Think of words like table, happy, water, doctor. For most two-part verbs, the stress usually lands on the second part. Consider begin, decide, explain, receive. For longer words, words with 3 or more parts, word endings can often show you where the stress will be. Words ending in tion, sion, ik, ity often have the stress on the part just before that ending. Examples include communi ca tion, in for ma tion, eco no mic, q rio si tai, and responsi bi lady. The best way to truly learn word stress is to listen a lot to native speakers. Whenever you learn a new word, don't just learn its meaning and spelling. Make it a habit to also learn how to say it, paying special attention to where the stress falls. Sentence stress takes this idea further. It's about putting more power on certain words within a whole sentence to show your main idea or feeling. Generally, important words, like nouns, main verbs, adjectives, and adverbs which carry the most meaning, are usually stressed. Small connecting words like a, the, in, on, and, but, is, have, are usually not stressed and are said more quickly. Consider the small but important changes here. If I say, I bought a new car, the main point is who bought it. I did, not someone else. If I say, I bought a new car, the main point is the action. I bought it, I didn't steal it or lease it. If I say, I bought a new car, the main point is the type of car. It's new, not old. And finally, if I say, I bought a new car, the main point is what I bought. A car, not a bicycle. This is not just about sounding good. It's about making your exact meaning perfectly clear and keeping your listener interested. Listen actively to native speakers. Notice which words they make stronger and which ones they say softly. This natural rhythm is very powerful. We've covered a lot today, from those slightly different vowel sounds like sheet and sit, to the important difference between the voiced and voiceless th sounds, and finally to the nice music and rhythm of word and sentence stress. Remember Anya and her sheet of paper story. These small sound differences can truly lead to big improvements or sometimes funny mistakes. The main goal of improving your pronunciation isn't to get a perfect accent that makes you sound like someone else. No, it's about being super clear and feeling very confident every time you speak English. And here's something important. Every time you struggle with a word or sound, it's not a bad thing. It's actually a clear sign, a helpful pointer, showing you exactly where you can get better next. Here is your simple, easy to follow plan to keep getting better at pronunciation. First, listen very carefully. Don't just listen to understand the words, start listening carefully to how they are said. Pay close attention to the rhythm, how the voice goes up and down, the specific sounds, the strong parts of words, and how words connect together when people speak quickly. Podcasts, audiobooks, good YouTube channels, and English TV shows are not just for fun. They are like your own language practice places, helping you learn. Second, be your own best teacher. This might feel a bit strange at first, but trust me, recording your own voice and then listening back is a powerful way to correct yourself. Use your phone or any recording device. Say new words, practice sentences from this episode, or just read a paragraph out loud. Then carefully compare what you recorded to how a native speaker says it. You'll hear things you never noticed before, and this way of checking yourself is how you truly improve. Third, practice minimal pairs. These are pairs of words that are different by only one sound, like ship and sheep, rice and lice, fan and van, or desk and disc. Practicing these pairs specifically helps your ear and your mouth learn to tell apart and make those tricky sounds we talked about today. You can easily find many minimal pair exercises online. Fourth, use online dictionaries. This is a very important habit for anyone serious about learning. Every time you find a new word, or even an old one you're unsure about, look it up in an online dictionary that has audio you can listen to. Listen many times, not just once, and then try to copy the sound as closely as you can. Finally, be patient and keep practicing. Please understand that getting better at pronunciation is not a race, it's a journey. It takes time, steady work, and being kind to yourself. Don't get sad if you make mistakes. Instead, celebrate every small success, every new sound you master, and every moment you feel a little more confident. Each step, no matter how tiny, is a big step towards speaking English well. And with this detailed look, we come to the end of today's episode of English in Advance. I truly hope this guide helps you face common pronunciation challenges with new confidence and a clear path forward. Remember, speaking clearly is the most important thing, and every step you take towards better pronunciation makes you a more confident, better, and truly clear English speaker. Thank you so much for learning with me, Jennifer, on English in Advance. Keep practicing, keep listening, and keep speaking your way to brilliance. See you next time.